Now from SRV Studios, Mr. Craig Thatcher.
Well, it seems like only yesterday Saturday pleased me. I was just a little boy, he was 33. He used to tell me stories of his adventures on the sea. Whenever I was worried, he was always there for me. Oh, Daddy, I remember a long, long time ago. You always were my hero, I never told you so. And how I wish I had the chance to see you once again. 'Cause you were just my father, you were my closest friend. And as I grew older, there were times we disagreed. I thought I had all the answers, that I knew more than he. My life finally got on track, now it's plain to see the way he lived his life each day, an example just for me. Oh, Daddy, I remember a long, long time ago. You always were my hero, I never told you so. How I wish I had the chance to see you once again. 'Cause you were just my father, you were my closest friend. One day, it seems not long ago, I got that fateful call. Your daddy took sick, you better hurry home quick. When I got there, he was gone. Good Lord called a home that night, and I was left to carry on. Even now I can hear his voice saying, son, you've gotta be strong. Oh, Daddy, I remember you always were my hero, I never told you so. How I wish I had the chance to see you once again. 'Cause you were just my father, you were my closest friend. No, you were just my father, you were my closest friend.
Good evening, folks, and welcome back to the Schuylkill River Valley and Sidetrack Sunday number 1 for July 2025. Excuse me. Hope you enjoyed the opening show, opening act. That was, I like to do that for my July STS because tomorrow it would have been my dad's 98th birthday, and that song meant a lot to both of us. So Dad, that's for you, and I know you enjoyed it. So let's see who's here tonight. Lynn McCurdy was the first one in, and that was hours ago. I doubt if Lynn's still sticking around and still here at the moment. I'm sure Lynn has a life. James from Dundas Junction Model Railroad. He's here. Good to see you, James. Ron from Southwest Railroad. He stopped in, but if I'm not mistaken, he's working. So he'll be back in a little bit later. Let's see, we got Ray Bobles here. Good to see you, Ray. Jason, the Colonel Cotton Belt. Good to see you, Jason. Glad you can make it. Sparky 107. Glad you could make it, Sparky. Always good to see you. And there's JJ from the Great Northern. Glad you could make it, JJ. Let's see. And David from DB Tech. Good to see you, David. Chuck Schreiber. Glad you could make it, Chuck. It's good to see you. Let's see. Who else do we have? Steve 87th PSAP. Good to see you, Steve. Glad you could make it in. Ron Moans here. Good to see you, Ron. Let's see. Who else? Nathan DeLay. Good to see you, Nathan. Glad you could make it. Let's see. Curly Express. Dwight. Glad you could make it. Sorry you missed it, Dwight. I started at 7:55. That's the time I always started. It's a special song, so I hope you go back and check the replay, at least for the opening bit there. Thank you, Chuck. That's like I said, that song means a lot to me. Craig had written that in honor of his own dad, but he really could have written it for me and my dad. Joe Rader, good to see you, Joe. Glad you can make it. Let's see, who else do we have here? John Train BFGR, good to see you, John. Glad you could make it. And that looks like everybody, at least everybody who's chatting. If I did miss anybody, I certainly apologize. And I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you folks all had a great weekend. For most of us, it would have been a holiday weekend. Pretty much everybody but Sparky and John Train. I think you're in Canada, aren't you, John? Let's see. Steve 87 just said hi to Pappy. I didn't see Pappy in here, but if you're here, certainly glad to see you, Pappy. So yeah, it was absolutely gorgeous weekend we had. Hope everybody else did. It's still beautiful. It's sunny. Let's see. And that's saying a lot after this weekend, Steve. I'm really glad to hear it. Actually, I hope everybody's got all their fingers and toes. I went to, John, I thought you were Canada. I went to high school with a guy. I can't remember his name now, but he liked his fireworks, and he actually liked to make his own fireworks. We started out high school. He had all 10 of them. But by the time we graduated, he had blown off 2 from one hand, and I think it was 3 on the other. And that wasn't even in one accident. He wasn't what you would call a quick learner. So anyhow, it's been hot down there. Oh, right. Yeah, sorry to hear that, man. It's been absolutely gorgeous here. 80s, but mid to low 80s and low humidity, and really nice weekend. I couldn't have asked for a better holiday weekend. Not that I did an awful lot, but I did enjoy the weather. Excuse me. Okay, so back on the O-scale diorama, I did make some progress, and I will be working on it a little bit more. Yes, Chuck, I did hear you folks had quite a bit of rain, and the last I heard, the death count was up into the 70s. I'm really sorry to hear that for everybody who suffered through that. Let's see, ever since I was very little watching YouTube videos, just trying to find train stuff to watch. Then I made my channel. Absolutely, you're right, Nathan. When I started my channel, I never expected expected it to turn into what it is. I figured I would have a spot to post some videos of my layout and watch a few videos from other people, and never expected to run into the community that we have here, and I never expected to meet so many good folks, both online and some of them actually in person. Yeah, absolutely, Chuck. Prayers for everybody down there. It's they're saying a once in a lifetime flood you guys put up with. One thing I can say about this area, we might get some cold in the winter. We might get a few heat waves in the summer, but we really don't have the kind of flash floodings that you folks have. Sparky, I got to say the same thing. I nobody else has ever hugged me on an RDC. So yep. Okay. So where was I? Yeah, see that? See what you did to me, Sparky? You completely lost my train of thought here. Okay, so anyhow, I did make some progress on the diorama. Unfortunately, not the progress that I was hoping to make, though. My plan for this week or this month, I guess, I plan to have the bridge itself finished. As I mentioned, I'm casting that out of plaster. I did get the yeah, not many people can make me blush, Sparky, so keep that in mind. Absolutely right. I like I said, I never expected it to grow this way. My first live stream was actually filling in for Vinny one night, and needless to say, I was full of butterflies, and I didn't really think I was going to like it all that much. But I look forward to my Sidetrack Sundays. I look forward to hanging out with you folks, and really the Sidetrack Sunday group really has made it worth it. These guys are really great friends and great guys to work with. And there's Bob from the PK&W Model Works. Good to see you, Bob. Okay, so I started making the mold. Like I said, I'm pouring the bridge out of plaster. The bridge is a concrete bridge, and like I mentioned, you people are probably tired of hearing this, but anytime I make rocks or concrete or something along those lines, I like using plaster. It's just the closest material to concrete that I can think of. Absolutely, Nathan. I couldn't agree more with you. So I'm making the mold out of plaster. No, I'm not making the bridge out of plaster. I'm making the mold out of wood. So I have the mold done. Here's one piece of it. This is this will give me the edge profile with the little lip and then the curve. And I did take the time for the wood mold to give it a couple coats of clear coat, gloss coat. Normally, when I make a wooden mold for plaster, I don't go through that step because the wood pulls apart from the plaster pretty easily. I've never really had a problem with it. Yeah, my days of getting plaster, Jason, are behind me. I think. I hope. But a couple of reasons I decided to give it a good gloss coat was first of all, the bridge is going to be about an inch thick. So that's a lot of plaster to be curing. There's Stephen from Wigwag Workshop. Good to see you, Stephen. Glad you could make it. And that's a good bit of plaster to be curing. And I really didn't want to put any stress on it when I was pulling the mold apart and crack it. And an inch worth of plaster can crack. I will be putting in like some rebar, some reinforcement, but still, for a few minutes of giving it a couple coats of gloss coat, really, it just made sense. The other reason I did it is the prototype bridge has the build year carved into the side of the bridge, and that's a detail I really wanted to include. It's probably being, I don't know, a little pedantic, because chances are even somebody who's been under that bridge as many times as I have would probably never even notice it. They probably never noticed it on the prototype, and so they wouldn't miss it on my model, if anybody ever saw it, that is. But I wanted it there. This diorama is going to be very simple. It's really, the key is the bridge itself, the GG1, of course, and the catenary. The rest is really just going to be trees and undergrowth. So there's not a lot of opportunity for details. And I love details in any scene, any modeling, any dioramas, anything like that I do. So there wasn't an awful lot of opportunity for details, and I really thought this was going to be a make or break detail. So I have a picture, which I'll get to in a minute. But the date actually would go right here in this lip, right about the center of the bridge. And to look right, it has to be carved into the concrete. So how I planned on doing that is 3D printing the year. It's a simple, just the year is all it is. So to 3D print the year in a mirror image of it, so that it would come out right once I cast it, and then glue that to here. And with this lip being so little, I really wanted the extra insurance that the mold would come apart pretty quickly. Nathan, I have two 3D printers. Actually, neither of them are working at the moment, and I'm getting to that in just a minute. So when I pulled the mold apart, I really didn't want any problems. So I figured the gloss coat was worth it, and when I do pour it, I will coat this with a little bit of like dish soap or something to act as a release agent. So here is, you can see here in the center of the large picture, there's the build date, 1915, and that's all it is. So I didn't need an awful lot. I just needed that year. But I figured there was really no way that I was going to be able to carve that and have it look right, especially getting it on both sides. So that's why I went with the 3D printing idea. So this is what I modeled. It's, well, saying I modeled it, that's a bit of a stretch. Took all of about 2 minutes. But that will be the build plate. Like I said, the date on it is mirror image, so that when it gets cast onto the model, it looks right. So I did the model. Like I said, it took me about 2 minutes to throw that together. Loaded it up on my printer, and the printer has apparently given up the ghost. I can't get it to print anything. I spent several days troubleshooting everything I could, and I've come to the conclusion that it's a board. The problem is this was a cheap printer to start with. It only cost me about $90, and I'm not about to put any money into replacing the board and all that. So anyhow, Brian from the Iron Horse Model Railroad has offered to print it for me. So I couldn't continue with the bridge until I get that from Brian, so that I can put it on here and cast the bridge properly. But getting back to Nathan's question, I have 2 printers. Well, I'm not willing to say I bricked the printer, right? It was working perfectly. I had no trouble with it the last time I printed something. I hadn't printed anything for a while during tax season, and so it sat there waiting for me, and somewhere in there, like I said, it gave up the ghost. Now, I did lose power a few times, so maybe a power surge toasted the board or something. I don't know, but it was a Creality LD002R, I think is the model number, and I was happy with the printer, especially considering that it cost me $90. But I haven't really printed all that much with it. Certainly not enough for it to have taken a nosedive so soon. Like I said, it could have been a power surge. I don't know. I probably should have unplugged it, which I didn't do. So the other printer I have is also Creality. That's a filament printer. I didn't want to do this on the filament printer because it's just too small, and I'm not going to get a decent print for something this small. With the text, because that text is the back. I'm pointing at the screen. The Anthony Dodge, good to see you, man. Glad you could make it. The back plate itself is about two millimeters tall. So the text is a millimeter and a half or somewhere along that line. And Papa John Trains, good to see you, Papa John. Glad you could make it. So I'm not going to get something clean enough on my filament printer for that, which is why I wanted to do it on the resin printer. So I'm going to have to wait until I get the part back from Brian. It shouldn't take Brian long. It's going to take probably about I don't know, maybe 10 minutes to print. That could be, Bob. Like I said, I probably should have unplugged it. I didn't. But it is what it is. It was a $90 printer. I bought it more as an experiment to see if I was really going to like the resin printer, because you hear a lot of stories, and some people like them, some people don't. Personally, I like it much better than the filament printer. In filament printers, there's a fair amount of maintenance to them, which is really why my filament printer is down right now, because I haven't gotten around to doing the maintenance on it. But just the detail that you can get on a resin printer is really what I wanted. I want the 3D printer more for detail parts, something like this, than for anything large. So I will at some point pick up another resin printer, but I'm not going to do that right now. And I certainly didn't want to hold this project up, waiting for that. So like I said, it's probably going to take Brian about 10 minutes to print it, if that. So yeah, I'm just waiting really for shipping time. Absolutely, Jason. And I mean, there's other differences. The resin prints are usually a bit more fragile. Fragile's not the word. You can break them easier than the filament printers typically. But like I said, since I'm going to be doing mostly small detail parts, that's really what I want the resin printer for. Let me come back here since I'm done with that. So I had to change gears a little bit here. So I've started working on the base. Delicate. There's a good word, Jason. Not the one I was looking for, but that one works. Started working on the base itself, and tonight I'm going to begin working on the road. Because, well, first, obviously, the road's going to have to go in before the bridge. The reason I wanted the bridge done up front is I need the bridge has some sides. Dwight has 2 resin printers. Oh, that's cool. And the bridge is going to sit down into the wings, as it were. So I really want the bridge first completed, cast, and put together, so that I can make sure that I get the cutout in the wings appropriate, so I don't have huge gaps. Okay, well, yeah. There are fumes that go with it. I have an air purifier. I keep it in actually, it's a spare bathroom that I don't use as a bathroom. So it's I can close it off completely. It's got the vent fan, and I also have an air purifier, a small air purifier in there, and I don't get any fumes or anything outside of that room. And I just, a couple of minutes with the fan on, and I've never had any problems going in there. But then I also don't usually have problems with any fumes anyhow. So let me put you folks on hold for just a second here while I rearrange things, and I'll be right back. Yeah, Bob, you can. I didn't have the room that I have this in doesn't have an outside window, so that's why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. But sure, absolutely, you could just like a print booth. Spray booth, I mean. So let's see here. Now we got. Okay, so let's see. It's not the. Maybe I should clean off that screen a little bit. That didn't help much. That's not the best camera, but okay. Yeah, I can see that, Anthony. If they have asthma, resin printers definitely are probably not the thing for them to be using. So anyhow, here's the base that I'm going to be building the diorama on. It's 18 by 18. What you see here, I have I have marked out where Crooked Lane is going to be, and the dotted line here is just the center line of the track. So what I'm going to do tonight is yeah, actually it does a little bit, Steve. Yeah, I might be a couple hundred years old by now, but I wasn't around in 1915. So what I'm going to be doing tonight is, yeah, I know I tried cleaning it, Sparky, real quick. I don't have any glass cleaner here, so I should, for next week, I will make sure I do that. No, Bob, this is not Baltic birch. This is MDF. It's a half-inch piece of MDF. I didn't have any Baltic birch. This is what I had laying around, so this is what I'm using. That's true, Dwight. They do have water-based resin, water wash resin. I haven't used it, so I don't have any idea if what about fumes or how it would affect somebody with breathing problems. Nah, I'm too lazy. You'll be able to see what I'm doing, Sparky. Jason leaving? All right, Jason, have a great night, man. Glad to see you. Glad you could stop by. So, what I'm going to be doing tonight is I'm going to be putting down a thin layer of plaster. The road surface I'm actually going to be doing out of a modeling paste. I'll probably be using Golden's modeling paste. Hey, thanks, Sparky. Gonna make me blush again, man. I'm going to be using a modeling paste, probably Golden's. I like Golden's products; they're really good, but a good bit more expensive than plaster. So I'm going to put down first coat of plaster, and then I will put the modeling paste on top of that. If anybody hasn't used Golden's modeling paste, Boomer Diorama uses it for his roads. So if you've seen his work, his roads come out really good. So we're just going to mix up the plaster here. Couldn't agree more, Sparky. Could not agree more. Wow. Hey, Heath, thanks, man. Good to see you. Glad you could make it. Oh. Looks like I making a mess here. Didn't get enough plaster. That's all right. I think we'll be fine. Let's see. So Heath and Jason are here tonight, just not at the same time. I don't know. You could have a point there, Sparky. If I'm not mistaken, they're about the same height. Let's see. There's Leo from the South Down Switching Layout. Good to see you, man. Glad you could make it. I'm hoping this is not too runny. And I think this is never call anyone Colonel. You know what I think I'm going to do, folks? I'm going to put you on hold real quick, and I'm going to run down and toss in a bit more plaster because this is just too runny and it's not going to stay where I put it. So give me a moment and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. There's Robert Darby from the Darby Rail Services. Good to see you, man. Yeah, this will be better. Oh, thanks, Leo. I appreciate that. It's actually would have been tomorrow. Would have been his 98th. Unfortunately, he didn't make it that far. Although he did make it to 83, so can't complain there. Alright, I think this will be a little bit better. Still a little thinner than I would have liked, but it's all the plaster I have. So I guess we're going to have to live with it. All right. Actually, I wanted to mist this a little bit. Just to dampen it up a bit for the plaster. So this is, I'm really just going for a very thin coat here. No, we're not going to watch the plaster dry, Sparky. We're just gonna watch me put it down here, which hopefully will only take a couple minutes. Actually, this is working out pretty good. It looked thinner in the in the container than it is here. Yeah, you're right, Ray. It's more like the icing than the cake. And of course, I'm going to make a mess all over my desk here. I have this nice workbench set up downstairs that I don't really care if it gets messy, but I'm not set up to stream from down there. So I end up sitting here on my desk, making a mess and having to clean up later. Yeah, that's right, James. Lots of fiber. Got to have fiber in the cake. Otherwise, it's just dessert. I've never used Hydrocal. It's it's of course real similar to plaster. It's lighter than plaster. I just plaster is what I started using, and kind of got used to it. So that's just what I use. And I usually go to Home Depot or Lowe's and get, I think it's a 15-pound bag, which is a whole lot cheaper than those little cardboard containers that you can get it in. And I can be a cheap SOB when I want to be. Actually, I guess that's not true. The way I look at it is every $5 or $10 I can save on making my layout is 10 or 20 bucks I can spend on trains. Yep. There will be some homemade sculpt-a-mold on this. Obviously, the train tracks are going to be sitting up a few inches above the road surface, and it will slope down. So yeah, there will definitely be some homemade sculpt-a-mold in use. I like it. It works so much. I mean, it works as good as sculpt-a-mold. And really, the only expense you have is the plaster. Especially with all the shredded paper that I have. I can't, old tax returns I can't just throw away. So I do have to shred it. And this actually is one of the most secure things I could do with my client data, is shred it and mix it into my layout. So let's see, where is this? This little spray bottle that I was misting it with, that's a great little spray bottle. It's the finest mist I've ever seen. I got it. It was really cheap. I got it on Amazon. And what I like about it is what you can spray it on top of, when you put down whatever, dirt, fine turf, whatever. Yeah, that's where the copies of the returns go. Steve is in my layout. But you spray it right on top of the fine turf, or I use dirt from my backyard, and it doesn't move it at all. It's really a great little spray bottle. Let's see. I'm just going to try and smooth this out as much as I can here. I should have brought up my offset spatula, but I obviously wasn't thinking, and I'm not going to run back down the stairs again. So after I get this as smooth as I can, I'll let it dry, and then I'll just hit it with a little sandpaper to smooth off any bumps that I have here, and then I can put the modeling paste, the Golden's modeling paste, on top of this, and make my road surface out of that. I gotta stop playing with it because it's starting to set up, and I'm just going to be gouging it. So let's see. Work comes early for you, Sparky. All right, Sparky. Glad you can make it, man. Don't work too hard tomorrow, and we'll see you around. Let's see. I need 6 inches. I need 6 inches of what, Steve? I think I'm afraid to ask, actually. Yep, there's Sparky's dining car video he just posted. Anybody that's planning on going, I think he said he's down to 14 spots left. So better hurry. Putty knife, yes. Okay, Steve, yes. Gotcha. Offset putty knife, not an offset spatula. So I am really going to stop playing with this before I ruin it. The rest I can do with sandpaper once it dries, and cover it with the modeling paste after that. This road that runs under here has never been one of your more refined roads. Coarse and rustic is probably a better description. I mean, today it's a little bit better, but back in the 70s it was kind of rough. So in the 40s it was even rougher. Yeah, you know what? You're probably right, Bob. A piece of cardboard probably would work. But I'm hard-headed, and I have this in my hand. So I'm going to let it go there. Yep, you're right, Steve. It does look like a Pennsylvania road. So there we go. That should do it for there. So then after Brian sends me back the 3D printed part and I can finish the bridge, then the wings will run along here, the bridge of course on top, and I'll set the track, and then I can start on the on hillside. Nah, Bob, come on, this isn't. It didn't show up there. Hang on. I don't think I'm going to need a belt sander, Bob. This isn't much. It's just a little bit of plaster. We'll see. I don't have a piece of. Yes, I do have a piece of cardboard here handy. That might be Yes, I definitely didn't want things at right angles. I try to avoid that wherever possible. It just looks more organic if they're not 90-degree right angles. And in fact, the Trenton cutoff doesn't go across Crooked Lane at a right angle. So about the only place that I would have had a right angle if I chose to is if I had straightened out Crooked Lane. But I just thought that would look somewhat less interesting. So that's where we stand for now. Hey, Model Railroad Show, good to see you. Glad you could make it. So I'll just tap down some of the higher spots here. It's already setting up, so stop playing with it before you mess it up. There used to be a guy on television. He was a painter, not Bob Ross, another guy, who said you have to know when to stop piddling and playing with it. So I'm going to stop piddling and playing with it. Excuse me. So really, that's about all I had for tonight, guys. I was kind of hoping to have the bridge ready. Like I said, my 3D printer had something else to say about that. So I kind of just threw this idea together in yesterday and today. Otherwise, I would have had nothing to show. So I think I'm gonna end the show a little bit early tonight. What time is it? Oh, wow, okay. Yes, Bob, piddling and playing is what we do, but you got to know when it's too much piddling and playing. No, this is actually part 2, Dwight. My last diorama, I think, was 17 or 18 parts. I'm hoping this one's going to be a few less than that, but yeah, this is just my first day. All right, thanks, Robert. I appreciate it. So that, like I said, that's all I had for tonight. It was just kind of thrown together at the last minute. So I'm going to call it a night here a little bit early. Certainly appreciate everybody being here. Next week is, well, I forgot already. I think it's Dave. Okay, Ray took the 90-foot turntable off of his layout. Okay. I hope that's a temporary thing, Ray. Thank you, Chuck. Appreciate it, man. So yeah, I think is it Bob or Dave next week? I don't even remember. That's terrible. Dave has next week. Thank you, Ray. Thanks, JJ. I shouldn't know when the STS guys are here, but and Bob has the 13th. Okay, good. All right, so I'm gonna call it a night here. I'm gonna call it a night here. So, and we will see you during the week, and see you on Dave's show next week. I don't know what Dave's got planned, but it's always something good. So thank you all for yeah. Well, that makes sense, Bob, since the next week is 13th. Let's see. Okay. So yeah, that's it for tonight. Thank you all for showing up. I appreciate it, and I hope you all have a great week. And you can ignore the calendar up here because I didn't change it.